Okay, can I clear a path a little tiny bit here? I was just out drawing the end of the street where some construction is happening, and I thought I would share not so much the drawings, but my life is a disaster. Sorry, everything is falling. Here's the pen I was using. The paper I was using looks like this. Does this look like the paper I was using? It's kind of like watercolor paper. And I was drawing with Arteza brush pens. And these were given to me by the mother of a friend of mine. And when I was visiting her house, the mother, she was talking about her grandkids and how much they loved to draw, and she showed me the drawings they did, and she showed me all the art supplies were on a table, and I, of course, can't let anything just go. I have to pick it up and play with it. So I picked up and played with and did some drawings at her house using these Arteza real brush pens. And I did, 6 or 7 drawings while I was there, and I got ready to leave the next morning, and she presented me this bag with a little bow around them of all of the pens that I was using. Now, I don't think they dried out in my house. I think they were sort of drying out in her presence. But I really had fun drawing with them. They were mainly monochromatic drawings, so I was just playing with them and enjoyed them. So I brought them out on an Urban Sketcher meeting and discovered that they didn't work as well as I remembered them working, but I drew with them anyway. And what's fun about them is they're almost dead, but not quite. And I'm able to sort of draw very lightly with them, and it's almost like drawing with charcoal. Now I can, if I wanted to make a dark line, I could draw very, very slowly, which, as you know, is not how I normally draw. But if I need to draw a dark line, I can do that, or I can just do this over and over and over again. And 9 times out of 10, or maybe 99 times out of 100, an artist that would be using this pen, and if it got to this point, they would just throw it away, and it would become food for tuna and jellyfish and whatever, ducks, geese, cows, better scurry, all of those sorts of things that eat plastic in the ocean and die. But for me, I'm going to use them up until nothing comes out of them, and even then I might use them still for something. Maybe they are actually delicious. So here I'm just playing with them, but I used this color just now, and I went out drawing, and I'll show you the drawings I did with them. Again, I was drawing with something that most people, this is not acceptable by most artists' standards. But given that restraint, okay, how can I build this rocket ship to the moon using 1 roll of duct tape and a butter knife? There has to be a way to do it. So I thought, okay, I've got this tool, and this tool has a limitation, so let's just work with it. Well, one of the things I did was bring pieces of paper that were this big, size of a large postcard, and that made it easy. And I just drew. And I went down to the street, into the street where they're building a bridge. And these are sketches I'm doing sort of as plans for my little constructions that I'm working on. So what I liked about it, this big green, brand new railroad bridge going over this underpass. And what's nice about it, the bridge is ugly. The one that was there, which I loved, had 5 million rusty rivets and 60, 80, 100 coats of paint. And it just looked like it would last for a million years. This one looks like it would last maybe a decade. It's very new and very modern and very clean and tidy, and it sort of looks flimsy because of its look. It doesn't have nearly as many rivets as the one that I saw. I think this is a wider, deeper, more tracks can go over it than the other one. Anyway, what I liked about this thing, so this big green thing is up here, and of course it's solid, and it cast this beautiful shadow down underneath. So things on this side of the beam, the shadow, were bright yellow in this case, or whatever color they were, mud or yellow. And underneath it was all black. And then on the other side it was mud and yellow again. So that's what I was doing here. And behind here are trucks, and this is part of the stonework. And I didn't get very far on that one, did I? Oh, right over here. This is the last one I did, but it had this brand new, sparkly in the sun, railroad signal light. And I exaggerated the size of it. It's maybe smaller by a third, maybe. But at this big dark building here, all of this other stuff, the bridge is here, and then these big dots, the backs of the lights. What else did I do here? Here's the other end of the bridge. I should probably put these things together. So here's the same view, except I've turned my eyeballs a little bit this way. There's the closed sidewalk, the chain link fence. The steam shovel is turned around, and the other one is back here, and this was continually moving. And drawing chain link fence is kind of tough. Sometimes I implied it by sort of drawing the thing that's supposed to be the chain is the white parts there, and here the chain is supposed to be the dark parts. So you have to do the math to figure it out. But chain link fence is kind of difficult. Here, that's shorthand for chain link fence. That's shorthand for a yellow striped barrel shadow. Big green thing with some rivets. What was I drawing here? This one, there were two shovels. One with big tires, the other one had treads. And they were sort of doing this little mating dance with each other. I don't know if they connected or not. What's the gestation period for cats? This was a cat. I don't know what that was. That could have been a John Deere. No, probably another cat. This one was aiming to the side. That's the back, I guess. That's going to the side. This was coming forward toward us. But it was just neat seeing them go back and forth. And I want to do an animation of them at some point. They were moving really, really fast, so I had to go very fast in trying to capture what I could on them. Okay, I did way more drawings than this. Per Gustafson, where are they? There's another one. This was the backhoe is back here. This is the bulldozer in the front. Okay. Oh, here we go. Dump truck. What I liked about this, and I'm going to see if I can maybe figure out how to, I might do a cardboard version of this, but make it kind of big. Because what I like is this was all essentially black, and this was all essentially white. But it had, you know, this chrome smokestack and chrome mirrors and chrome hardware, and it was just like a Christmas tree up here. And I just thought that it's always fun to see the juxtaposition of what is sort of big and clunky with shiny, bright things. So anyway, that was that one. Another one of these. I don't know what that was. That was, I guess, under the bridge. What I was trying to remember about this was yellow and these were black. I haven't done that many trucks like that. Oh, here we have the his and his outhouses side by side. What I liked about this was this had sort of this was a rounded top, sort of a Moorish look to it, and this was sort of squared off, kind of Etruscan. I'm sure that is not what the porta potty manufacturers had in mind, but that's what I think of. Yeah, whatever, Pierre. Okay, let's see, what else do I have? Saving the best for last, or the last for last. Is that the last one? Hold on. Get my Merce out here. I guess that's it. Okay, so I went out today with one of my neighbors who loves to draw almost as much as I do, or maybe even more than I do. And he was walking through the lobby when I was getting ready to go upstairs to have lunch, and I said, I'm going to go out and draw. You want to join me? And he said yes, so we went together and drew. And here he is. I told him this was my favorite spot from yesterday. It's a little, I don't know what it is. Maybe there used to be at one point a fire plug in here, little niche. Highway is here, that's closed because of the construction, so no traffic. And I said, sit there and look. And so he had a really good view from here, looking straight into the construction area. I was up this way looking through a fence most of the time. But there he was, and he had these cool sunglasses because he's a cool kid, and he had a cool baseball cap because it's cool, and he had this down jacket that was hot, I imagine, but lightweight, but kept him warm. And he drew very carefully one drawing of the tractors, and we had a good time. And so that was it. So the moral of this story is maybe the tool that you're about to throw away because you think it's not working right, maybe there's a way that you can say, okay, let's pretend it's not a marker. Let's pretend it's a piece of charcoal. Oh, if it's a piece of charcoal, I know how I can draw with it. And it's just fun. It's fun when the tool you have surprises you and doesn't work the way you think it's going to work. So don't throw it away right away, but see if you can make it work for you too. And then when you're finally done with it, you can eat it yourself, and or give it to your favorite dolphin or whatever. Bring it to the aquarium and let them eat it. No, it's horrible that this is going to end up, it's never going to go away. It's plastic. So we're doomed. Doomed. Bye.